All right, here we go. How we going, lads? Welcome to a little Rugby League Q&A. I've been wanting to do a live stream ever since I moved into the new house, and here we are. We got a bit of a setup here. Not really, though, because I haven't really had much time to do much of a setup, so I'm going to be doing I'm going to try and get a good setup for the channel. So we'll see how we go. I might try and get a setup going, maybe some stuff in the background, but at the moment, all right, we're back. I believe we are back. I am sorry about the connection. I did say it was going to lag. If you read the comment before I started, are we back? Let me know. Are we back? I think we are. I honestly thought I was going to have to start all over again. Let me just make sure this is good. We've got 12 people here. Let me know in the chat, is the connection okay? Are we back? Because I have absolutely no idea. All right, we're back. All right, we've got 14 people here. So, righto, what we're going to do, it's working. Okay. Send in your rugby league questions. We're going to talk some footy. Like I said, the connection is not going to be great. I am using my mobile phone hotspot. It is expected to be a bit blah. So, if I can be on here for 15, 20 minutes, I'll be very happy. I want to get some time on here and talk to you guys about the footy and stuff. So, send in your questions via the comment section below, and I'll answer them as honest and as truthful as I possibly can. But last night, I hope you guys enjoyed the mid-season review. I did the mid-season review last night on the channel. It was a 24-minute video, so I do apologize about the video being so long, but hope you fellas enjoyed it. Yeah, so, send in your questions. You got any questions about rugby league in general, the NRL or Origin coming up next Wednesday night? Let me know. Like, I'm here to talk footy with you. That's why I came live. And, we've got a question here already from the Real Wombat. Should Reid Marnie be a starter for Origin, or do you think Paul Green dropping him was a smart idea? I think Reid Marnie was a little bit unlucky. I think he deserves to be in the Queensland 1 through to 17. I kind of feel sorry for him. He's probably been the top 3 best hooker of the year so far. So, you look at all the hookers in the competition at the moment, I'd say Reid Marnie would be top 3 at the moment. And I think, I don't give a shit what Queensland do, but, I think Reid Marnie would have been better off starting and bringing Harry Grant off the bench as that impact player. You come on the field and explode from dummy half. We've got a question coming in from Beanie Car Sports. Do you reckon the Tigers can beat the Panthers this weekend? Look, in my tipping video, as you guys would have saw, when was it? Yesterday afternoon, I think the Tigers will beat the Panthers on Friday night. The Panthers have got so many players out. Jerome Luai, Nathan Cleary, Coruscant's not there, Yo's out, Capewell's out. It's a pretty big list. And if the Panthers are to win on Friday night, it will be a great achievement. But I think the Tigers at the moment, they are starting to play a little bit better, and I'm pretty happy with the way the Tigers are playing at the moment. Obviously, they're 4-8, so they're not playing the best of football, but the last couple of weeks or so, they've been a lot better. So it will be a very interesting game on Friday night. Gus Knows Footy says, do you think Matt Burton deserves that Origin spot? Don't know about Matt Burton. I don't know if he's ready for that State of Origin arena. We all know how good of a player he is. Obviously playing centre at Penrith at the moment, going over to the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs next year to partner, we assume Kyle Flanagan, but it looks like it might be Brendan Wakeham now. He's going to play halfback, but I think Matt Burton's another year or two away from Origin. I don't think you want to throw him in there just yet, and you don't want to stuff up his development. So give Matt Burton time. He's only a young player still, so I think there's other options for New South Wales at this stage. The Real Wombat says, me personally, Matt Burton is way too young, man. Give him a few years. Yeah, I agree with you there. The Real Wombat. Golden Holden says, Nick, what are your thoughts on Cronulla getting Niko Hines? All I can do is clap. Great signing from the Sharks. He's going to go there next year. He's going to play 5'8", because Will Kennedy and Toby Rudolph just re-signed with the Sharks. So I think Niko Hines is going to play 5'8" next year at the Sharks. And who plays halfback? Well, we'll soon find out. But it will be very interesting seeing it will be interesting to see how he goes at the Sharks next year. Minty Rabideau says, are you going to the Origin games? I would like to go to game 2 on the Sunday up at Suncorp Stadium. We'll see what happens. It's going to be very difficult because I believe I have work the next day about at 8 a.m. So we'll see how we go. It's going to be difficult, but what I will tell you is never say never, mate. CT Dingo says, gosh, Nick, I hate not having a game to really look forward to this week. It's messing with me. What about you? CT Dingo. Dragons and Broncos will be an interesting game because you got Jack de Belin returning and Jack Bird going to second row is going to be quite interesting. So that might be a very interesting game. And Panga Jr. not getting picked for New South Wales, so maybe he will want to make a statement. And Tigers and Panthers will be a good game. Can the Tigers and the Panthers streak? Obviously, the Panthers are depleted at the moment, and I think Saturday's games are a bit of a snooze fest. And as for Sunday, well, Sunday should be another interesting game between Newcastle and Parramatta. What's your opinion on Cowboys getting Tom Dearden early, says Gus Knows Footy? Yeah, look, I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I think Tom Dearden's a really good young kid coming through. I haven't really rated him as much when he was playing his first couple. Obviously, the games he's played in the NRL so far haven't been amazing because when he joined the Broncos, they were sort of on the decline. They were down the bottom and they weren't playing the best of football. So I think he'll play better at the Cowboys because obviously the Cowboys are playing better at the moment, and I think there's better players there to complement Tom Dearden. So we'll see how he goes, but his job will be to just organise the right side of the field and kick well and defend well, and Drinkwater and Holmes and Taumalo will do all the rest. Chamber Videos says, will Dylan Brown lose his position to Jake Arfa? Don't think so, bro. But Jacob Arfa has been solid. Bosky Play says, do you think Munster will play Origin? Personally, I think so. Yeah, I think Munster will play. If Kalyn Ponga has been ruled out yesterday or this morning actually, then I think Munster would have been ruled out as well. So I think Munster will play, even though he might be a little bit injured at the moment. But I believe Munster will play Origin next Wednesday night. CT Dingo says, are you going to Origin 1? No, bro. Origin 1's all the way up in Townsville. I am a fair way from Townsville. I am not getting on the plane and going to Townsville. So, and good luck getting a ticket up there anyway. So, I definitely won't be attending Origin 1. Rugby League History's in the chat. How you going, bro? Lee Collins says, do you think the Warriors should have won the game against the Cowboys? Yes and no. Look, I think the Warriors' first half really let them down in that game, and then they came back and they got in front. There was a lot of 50-50 calls on both sides in that game. When there was 2 minutes to go and the Cowboys weren't allowed to challenge the Cohen S knock on, and Chino Harris-Tavita missed a 20-metre field goal right in front. I feel like if Harris-Tavita kicks that field goal, everyone's complaining about how the Cowboys got robbed and all that. So the Warriors, I feel like the Warriors did blow it up. Like they blew it. They should have won the game. They absolutely blew it. But you win some, you lose some. It is what it is, mate. Rugby League history says Cockatoo Collins. We got Jake Chamber Video says Jake Trbojevic, did he deserve that state of origin position, or was he picked on reputation? Very, very good question, Champion Videos. I think Jake got picked because he has never let anyone down. I think, obviously, he has that experience, and we all know Origin it's about defense, and Jake Trbojevic is a great defender and a really good he's really a really good tackler. So I think Jake Trbojevic probably gets one chance. If he has a shocking game on Wednesday night next week, then I don't think he'll be there for game 2. But I think I'm okay with him being there for game 1. But if he has a shocker, I don't think he'll be there for game 2. Andrew says, should Ash Taylor start over Tanner Boyd? This is a really good question because the Gold Coast Titans look like a better team without Ash Taylor when Tanner Boyd was there. He's done some good things, Tanner Boyd, obviously. I think he was starting to gel well with all the other players at the Titans. So I don't know if Ash Taylor deserves to be there. I think Ash Taylor's only there because he's off contract at the end of the year, and we don't really know if the Titans are going to re-sign him or not. If I was the Titans, I wouldn't even have him in the 30-man squad. So I think Tanner Boyd's the future going forward, and I think he would be their best option in my opinion. Bosky says, how do you think about game 1 in Townsville? I don't think it should be in Townsville. I saw on the news the other day, the Premier of Queensland, Palaszczuk, was like, oh, it's typical of New South Wales to be sooking. I think that she needs to be quiet because she doesn't know anything about football. But, for Queensland to have Origin 1 and 2 in Queensland, plus last year's game 3 Origin games in a row in Queensland, but apparently it's selfish of New South Wales. It's unfair in my opinion. Full-time Reece Walsh says Lee Collins. I think he's an exceptional young talent. I think he's the future of the Warriors. No RTS next year. So Reece Walsh is the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes, for the rest of the season and going forward in his career. What do you think about Jack Whiten playing jersey 14 for the Blues? I absolutely don't like it. I think it's a terrible decision. But we all know Brad Fittler. He's got his favourites. He'll pick players that he thinks will do the job and players that he will like. So I'm not surprised that Whiten's in the team, but I'm not happy about it whatsoever. Minty Rabideau says, which teams do you think will secure that 7th and 8th spot come finals? Well, what I'll do is, last night I did a mid-season review on the channel, and it's a long video, and I know everyone doesn't like watching long videos, but I'll go through my little ladder that I've done. I went on to the Nrl Ladder Predictor on the NRL.com, and I did my predictions for the remainder of the season. So this is my ladder for the remainder of the year, and this is how I think the ladder will end up. So I'll go from 16 to 1. So 16th place with a record of 4 wins and 20 losses, the Wooden Spooners. I've gone with the Bulldogs. In 15th spot, with also on 4 wins and 20 losses, I've got the Canberra Raiders. In 14th spot, last year's Wooden Spooners, the Brisbane Broncos. I've got them finishing 14th with 5 wins and 19 losses. And then rounding out the bottom 4, finishing 13th with 6 wins and 18 losses, I've got the West Tigers. And then in 12th spot, with a record of 8 wins and 16 losses, I've got the Gold Coast Titans. And then in 11th spot, with a record of 9 wins and 15 losses, I've got the St. George Illawarra Dragons. In 10th spot, with a record of 10 wins and 14 losses, I've got the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. And then the last team that misses out in the top 8, and 9th spot, I've got the Newcastle Knights with a record of 11 wins and 13 losses. Now, my top 8, what I think will end up happening is in 8th spot, I believe it will be the New Zealand Warriors with a record of 12 wins and 12 losses. And then in 7th spot, I've got the Cowboys with a record of 13 wins and 11 losses. In 6th spot, I've got Manly with a record of 15 wins and 9 losses. In 5th spot, the Parramatta Eels with a record of 17 wins and 7 losses. And then in the top fourth spot, the Sydney Roosters with a record of 17 and 7 losses as well. And then in third spot with a record of 19 wins and 5 losses, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. And then the top 2, second, last year's premiers, the Melbourne Storm, with a record of 20 wins and 4 losses. And finishing first as minor premiers, we've got the Penrith Panthers with a record of 22 wins and 2 losses. That's how I reckon the ladder will end up for the end of the year. Now, back to some of the questions. G'day to Sam Revel. How are you, bro? Good to hear from you once again. Lee Collins says, hey, I'm only 15, but I would love to watch the league with you sometimes. See, you actually care about the league. Yeah, cheers, bro. Just when I get my Wi-Fi back up on Saturday and once the Foxtel is all back installed, I'll be more than happy to do live streams with people, maybe like on here. So we'll see how we go. What do you think about Kyle Feldt debuting for Queensland? I think it's excellent. Val Holmes will go to fullback now. And I think AJ Brimson's better off the bench as at jersey 14. Who would you let go out of Shaun Johnson and Matt Moylan for the Sharks? I would let go of Matt Moylan, but he's been playing well, so I think he might find another club somewhere. We'll see what happens. Matt Burton and Josh Adokar are enough to make the Bulldogs top 8 contenders. I do not think so. Bit off centre, but do you like Paul Kent? No, he has his moments. I don't necessarily hate his guts, but I'm not a big fan of him. But James Hooper is a more hateable person than Paul Kent, in my opinion. What else we got here? Oh, CJ Moxley's in the house. How you going, bro? Shaun Johnson, the Souths. That would be dumb because why would you let go of Reynolds and then get Johnson? Oh, I don't know, man. It's crazy, that whole South Sydney situation. What do you think is better, Magic Round or the Nines tournament? Definitely Magic Round, bro. You're there. You're at every single game. The crowd is fantastic. The people that you meet and run into, it's absolutely magnificent. Magic Round will be in Brisbane again next year, and I guarantee you I will be there once again. I cannot wait. So I'm looking forward to Magic Round next year. It's going to be absolutely magnificent. It was great this year. Obviously, I had a great time at Magic Round, but you could say that the NRL referees and the rules sort of ruined it, but to be honest with you, didn't ruin my weekend. I had a blast. Magic Round, State of Origin or Grand Final? Oh, probably the NRL Grand Final because that's what you're training for all year, your pre-season, and I'd say definitely the Grand Final. William says, Game of the Year so far. This is a very, very tough question to answer. Let's go through some of the games. There has been a few great games, but before I answer that question, CJ Moxley says the Titans have proved they're overhyped with losing to Cronulla by that. Yeah, bro, look, I've been saying all year the Sharks are overhyped, and I stand by that comment. To William's question, the Game of the Year so far, look, I'm going to go with the Panthers Storm game that we saw back in round 3. That was a blockbuster, man. That was a cracking game. Really enjoyed that game. Rugby League history says Benny Cuss Bulls dropped the Gold Coast like a sack of potatoes now that they are doing bad. I guess, you get some predictions right, you get some wrong, but you never know. Here we go. This is a good question here. CT Dingo. Nick, do you think Cleary will choke again in the State of Origin, or do you think he has proved enough in the past year to actually perform come Wednesday night? I am a little bit concerned with Cleary because we all know in the past he hasn't done really well at State of Origin levels. So I am a little bit concerned, but if Nathan Cleary has a bad game on Wednesday night, there will be a lot of question marks and a lot of issues going on. So we'll see what happens there. But I think he has to perform. He absolutely has to perform. A few more questions before we get on out of here. Like I said, I'm using my hotspot for this. I don't even know how much data it will take, but probably a fair bit. But I love doing these live streams because it's been a few weeks since I've done one because moving into a new house and you've got to get the connection set up again and then you've got to get your Foxtel reinstalled. So it's madness. Do you think Ponga's injury will affect Queensland a lot? No, I don't think so. Ponga's only played 3 games this year. He's proven he is a little bit injury prone, so I don't think it'll affect him too much, to be honest. Should North Sydney Oval be allowed to host NRL games? Yep, they should. They absolutely should. They bloody should. Do you think if Cleary doesn't perform well in Origin because of the nervous... I think every player's nervous when it comes to state of origin levels, so hopefully he does well. Rugby League history says if they allow games to be played at Dubbo or at that dump in Cairns, then why not? Yeah, exactly. I think there was supposed to be a game this year from the Roosters and someone, but it didn't happen. So, it might have been last year. I can't remember, but definitely needs to be a game there for sure. What do you think about the new Brisbane team, the Firehawks? Well, there's a few teams that are bidding out for the 17th team in Brisbane, so I don't think it will be the Firehawks or whatever they're called. I'll go with the Redcliffe Dolphins. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. They've got facilities, they've got money, they've got their own leagues club. Redcliffe Dolphins is an absolute no-brainer. Try of the year, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Gus knows 40. You're putting it on the spot. Good grief. Bloody hell, mate. Honestly, at the moment, I'm not too sure. There's so many great tries this year. I'll have to go through the tries that I've like best tries of the year. I'll have to rank them all from 10 to 1, I reckon. I liked your old gaff, Nick. It looked like a man bunk. I'll have to get used to this new shiny place. Yeah, Daniel, look, I'm going to get a setup going. Like, I'm going to get maybe some NRL canvases in the background. Maybe hang up this Cowboys flag as well in the background. But I'm still working out my little setup, so I've got to sort it all out, you know. I get the Wi-Fi, I get the internet back on Saturday, so hopefully I can get something sorted out by then, but we'll see how we go. Firehawks is a netball name. How about Rovers/Wanderers? Yeah. Well, there's a team in Western Sydney called the Wanderers, I believe. So I don't know how they feel about that. I'd go with the Redcliffe Dolphins, to be honest. G'day, Carlos. How you going, bro? Yeah, look, two more questions, and then I might get on out of here, fellas, because I don't know how long this mobile hotspot data is going to go on the live stream. I really don't know, but we'll see how we go. I don't know how long it's going to last, but 23 minutes so far is actually going quite well. Bit surprised that it lasted this long. NRL dry stuff. How you going, bro? I saw your Titans and Sharks vlog, mate, at Coffs Harbour. Well done, mate. You did really well in that vlog. Brisbane Rovers, Rugby League Club. Come on, you Rovers. Has Niko Hines made the right decision with the Sharks, says Bill Stewart? Yeah, I think so. I really do. National Sports Slated. This is the final question. It's all right, Daniel, bro. It wasn't really announced the live stream. I sort of just did it anyway. Who do you think is the most under pressure player for New South Wales? National Sports Loaded. I will go. There's 2 of them for mine. Nathan Cleary and Appy Coruscant. I'll go. Nathan Cleary and Damien Cook. I reckon those 2 are the most under pressure. Oh, here we go. Another question. Score for Origin 1. Look, I'll be doing my State of Origin Game 1 preview on Saturday, guys. So Saturday, look out for it. My State of Origin Game 1 preview. I'll be releasing that on Saturday. So hope you guys look forward to that one. No worries, NRL dry stuff. Who do you think is the inform NRL player at the moment? I'd say Tommy Turbo and Nathan Cleary. All right, guys, that might wrap up the little Q&A, Rugby League Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate everyone jumping in here and talking some footy as always. But, guys, have a fantastic night and see you guys in the next one. See you later, fellas. Go the Cowboys!